the name of the Father, Son, and one God. Amen. We are in the 4th week of the Pentecost. And the gospel today is from St. John. I will read 3 verses only from John 12. Please listen carefully. Then Jesus said to them, "A little while longer, the light is with you. Walk while you have the light. Lest darkness overtake you. He who walks in the darkness does not know where he is going." I will read again. He said, "A little while longer, the light is with you. Walk while you have the light, lest darkness overtake you." You want to say that when you walk in the light, if you slow down walking the light, darkness will overtake you. He who walks in darkness does not know where he is going. He's lost. While you have the light, believe in the light, that you may become sons of light. So, walking in the light equal, I'll be the son of the light. And the opposite is walking in darkness, I'll be the son of the darkness. In 2003, while I was in Kenya, we started to serve people who have HIV/AIDS. And at that time, it was started to be known that if you are doubting about this disease, you should become and be opened and say. I remember in 97, 6 years before that, they called this as a taboo or as a disease, unknown disease, or an evil spirit. No one wants to admit that there is sickness and there is darkness somewhere. Then we started something called the VCT, Volunteer Counseling Testing. Well, you come and we take a sample from your blood, and then you determined, before this we tell you, the counselor, that in case you have a positive indication, this is what we will do. If not, this is what you will do. And I remember very well, I was the first one who went to take the sample from the VCT. I did this because I want to encourage our youth especially to be opened so we can put an end, or trying to put an end for this. Later on, people start to be open, and we opened the clinic. In 1 year, we received, the target was 1,500 patients. We received 3,000 patients. And I cannot forget the first session while we were sitting with those who have AIDS. And they are like waiting for death to overcome them. A lady who came and tell us this story. She said, "I read in one of the newspapers that there was an experiment about light and darkness. They brought a big drum of water and put a small mouse in the drum of water, a rat. And they want to see how long this rat will live. They closed the door and they kept only a small line of light, less than a millimeter. And I will ask you what she asked us. Do you think this rat lived for how long? I want to hear 3 guessings. A rat in a drum full of water, and the room is dark completely except 1 millimeter of light. Do you think this rat lived for how long? Forever? Okay. 3 days? He lived for 18 hours, fighting the water fighting everything, and they said he was focused on one thing, the light. And this great lady said, we are not threats. We are his sons and daughters, the sons of the light. This lady was about to die. She kept fighting. And she said, God, let me see my granddaughter. And I promise, if you let me the day to see my granddaughter, I'll call her Hope. And after 2 years, she came carrying Hope in her hands. I want to tell each of us that we are not made to be darkness. The plan in the beginning, it is that for us to be the light. But we cannot say, I am the light, without connecting to the main light. I know all of us, we go to church upstairs, and we like our big chandeliers, right? What is the use of this chandelier, which is expensive, without having power? Nothing. What is my use if I owe many things, and I have many things, and I have a lot of things, but I miss the light? In the perspective of the Bible, I am darkness and living in darkness. While we are sitting now, God has said, the light is with you. He's affirming for the millionth times that the light is with you. The light of God cannot distinguish between the clean places, the unclean places. He goes to both. The sun rays go to the most clear and clean places and to the most dirty and bad places. And the light, you cannot change it. It is the light. How many of us, the light came to them clearly, and yet we had the decision to say, I want to walk in the darkness. The potential of you and me in the light is great. We will be called the sons of light. Whatever you say, whatever you do, will reflect whom you are belonging to. And that's a big challenge, not for us, but for God in His love and mercies, to entrust me and you to deposit His light in our hearts. You know, big people, wealthy people, when they want to guarantee that their money will be safe, they put it in the most secure fund or most secure investment. The Creator who made you and me, He made everything out of nothing. He said, I am yours. But it is not only by word, but by actions. I cannot imagine that I am in the church now, singing, where you go, I will go, and close my eyes, and in a very high emotional status. And the minute I step outside, I walk in the darkness. There is something wrong here. There must be something wrong here. Whether I leave the light, or I deny the light, or I don't want to be in the light. One of the most profound situations, which I see many times, when someone came, not before God, and say, I am in the darkness, I need the light. Admitting that I am in the darkness and seeking the light truly and genuinely, the light will come. But you cannot walk in the light and also in the darkness. You cannot worship God and worship idols. I cannot, and God cannot stand this, because God is holy and God is jealous. And jealousy means whether I am all or I am none. I told you this time, many times, about this small example. Can a wife tell her husband, I'm your wife 3 days, and the 4 days, let me do whatever I want? By the way, the word adultery in the Bible doesn't mean adultery physically. No. The Bible uses adultery when we commit ourselves to someone else rather but God. That is adultery. When I am supposed to be the light of the world, I walk and show only what? Darkness. And we love darkness, and I love darkness. عارفين darkness equal what, حبايبي? Fear. One of the saints went to save one of his girls, and she was working in sin, in a house of sin. And he entered into her room. And he told her, do you want me to commit sin with you? She said, yes. He said, let us go outside and do it in the street. She said, I can't do this. And he told her, if you don't fear to do it before one people, for everyone, that means there is something what? Wrong here. How many things I hide before people? How many things still in my laptop, in my computer, in my phone? How many times someone called and said, I'm busy, and you're not? God told you, come to a trip, come to a mission. I'm not. I have another plan. I lost my phone. I changed my number. Darkness. I'm busy. I don't have time. Darkness. Darkness. Darkness equal fear, and darkness equal shame. Shame. Few chapters before chapter 12, a woman came out of shame into the light. She was committed, she was caught in adultery, actual adultery. And she came, they wrap her in the bed sheet, naked before God. And he said, I will not judge you. Sin no more. The next verse, walk in the light. My brothers and sisters and my beloved sons and daughters, did you make up your decision to walk in the light or not yet? Have you really sit with yourself and said, let me walk despite my darkness spot, let me walk. And when I walk, the light will fill my heart. The first sign is the word of the light. Sitting with the light, the word of God. David cried out saying, your words is the light to my path. Equal what? My path will be in darkness without your light. How many of you guys are waiting in the crossroad waiting for decisions? And I'm afraid that all our decision is about go to college, not to college, go to blah, 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 or not, putting this. The biggest decision is not yet made. I live for God. I hope today that as we sing, by the way, your voices was great. Where you go, I will go. But God is waiting now. Let me see where they will go. Let me watch their steps afterward. He said in Isaiah, those people bless me with their tongue, but their heart is away. I have plan B. I have plan B. Don't bother me. If you are bothered by the commandments of God, by the way, and you say it's silly, it cannot work, this is not practical, you're in darkness. You're in darkness. If you say, he doesn't mean this, darkness. If you say, explain, and someone explains for you and said, I'm not convinced, darkness. Believe in the light and walk in the light. By your deeds, if you are your darkness and in the light. By your tongue, the way you speak, the way you insult others, the way you see yourself clever and smart than everyone, that's completely foolishness. Darkness. The light is simple, and the light is humble, and the light is worthy to be followed wherever we go. Today is the memorial day, or tomorrow. Can we do it like as a memorial for us, that we step down from darkness into light completely? Don't leave anything behind. Don't leave it. When Moses told Pharaoh, let's go outside, let's go outside. Pharaoh said, no, go halfway. He said, no. Go and leave the ladies. No. Go and leave livestock. No. Moses said, even a single finger, I will not leave it. All is all. عشان كده we are not challenging God. We are challenging whom? Ourselves. To take these big decisions, to walk in the light. May God use these words and whatever we sang today, to be practical and living, and glory be to God forever and ever. Amen.